This week's video is going to be all about freezer cookies. We're a few weeks away from Christmas at this point, and so I am giving a gift to myself, and I am getting a jump start on my Christmas baking. In case you're new around here, hi, my name is Sarah. I am the homeschool mom to 5 kiddos, and our December, we school year round, and so our Decembers are busy, and I like to use time on the weekend to get ahead, to fill my freezer with foods that I can utilize throughout the week or throughout the holiday season that'll just make my everyday a little bit easier. So what I do every year is I will bulk or batch cook all of my cookies all in one day, and I will preserve them in different ways. So some of the dough I will just put flash freeze, put it in the freezer in dough form, and I will bake it when I'm ready to use it. Other cookies, I will do the whole process start to finish. I will make the dough, cut them out or roll the balls, bake them, and then freeze them whole. It just kind of depends on how the day goes, where it takes us as we go through this process. But I have written up on my whiteboard, I have 5 recipes that I'm hoping to tackle today. I went ahead and printed out the copies of the recipes off on my printer because I like real paper rather than looking at my phone or my computer throughout the day. I like having printed recipes. So I will be sure to link everything down below. But the goal is to make sugar cookie cutouts, chocolate mint Meltaways, which are just chocolate Andes mint cookies that I've just, kind of deemed my own recipe with. Some M&M and sprinkled chocolate chip cookies, peanut blossoms, as my mom always called them, or kiss cookies, just, the little peanut butter cookies rolled in sprinkles with chocolate kisses on top. And then last but not least, shortbread. Shortbread is one of my favorite Christmas cookies to have around. I even have a special snowflake tin that I use to make shortbread in every year. So hoping to tackle all 5 of those recipes this evening. And yes, I said this evening, it's already 4 o'clock. As you can see back there, I have a big stock pot on the stove. That is our tom turkey. And today was the day I put the tom carcass in the big stock pot with some water and veggies and apple cider vinegar, and it has been low and slow all day long. I'll get a couple gallons of broth from that before I go to bed tonight, so that'll be great. So broth going on in the background, cookies going on over here. Now, as you can see, I'm just gathering a bunch of my ingredients and supplies all on my kitchen island. This is my main area where I do a lot of my cooking and working in my kitchen. Thankfully, earlier this afternoon, the kids helped me prep some of these ingredients. They unwrapped the chocolate kisses for me and opened up M&M bags. They just really helped me to kind of prep all of the ingredients. I also made sure to get out several pounds of butter to let it soften up. So hopefully that will kind of get me a one step ahead and get these recipes going very quickly. This sugar cookie cutout recipe I have been using, probably for 15 years or so now. I actually got this recipe from the Girl Talk blog back when that was in existence. I don't know, it might still be around, but this is the Mahaney grandma's sugar cookie recipe, and I have used that year in and year out ever since. I really love it because it has sour cream and nutmeg in it, so it just gives your sugar cookies a little bit of a different flair. Now, if you have kids, you know making Christmas cookies, decorating them, doing all of that. It's quite the undertaking. I like to break this up into a few days. I will make the dough today. We will spend another day rolling it out, cutting them into the different cutters and baking them. And so I will use my freezer as my friend. We will save these for a decorating day. Instead of doing afternoon school or something, we will have a decorating cookie day, and I will fill our kitchen table full of cookies and different icings and candies and sprinkles, and I will just let the kids go to town. It will be a gargantuan mess, but memories will be made. It will be lots of fun. per usual, we have a lot going on around the house as I am in the kitchen doing this. You'll see little ones coming in and out. Today my kids are spending a lot of time doing Christmas puzzles. I have one kid upstairs who has a Secret Santa workshop, and she is just having at it, wrapping presents and just getting some little special projects ready for the Christmas season. My little ones have been going around playing bear hunt with flashlights. They've been loving that today. I have our robot vacuum cleaner, Carson. He's been roaming around here sweeping up the floors. Justin loves to run that thing, especially on the weekends, so that's kind of crazy happening in the background. So as I'm being productive, you will see there is, you know, orchestrated chaos happening around me. That is just the usual in a big family life with people coming in and out on the weekend.
Welcome to Chef Ezra! Make cookies! Chocolate cookies. Over the river with the woods together as we go. The horse in the sleigh, the carriage swaying, the wine dripped and stuff.
Now, I do have a KitchenAid mixer. I do like to utilize that for a lot of my cooking, but today, just to save on dishes, I'm just gonna use my hand mixer. One of the nice things about batch cooking like this is that you do really save on dishes. You can utilize the same tools, the same equipment over and over again throughout recipes, especially if they have like ingredients. I can just give them a quick rinse in the sink. Really is such a time saver to batch cook as far as dishes go. So these M&M chocolate chip sprinkle cookies, these are just kind of something fun the kids and I have kind of mashed together throughout the years. It started probably about 10 years ago. Noah and Leah and I made chocolate chip cookies at Christmas time, and I had some Christmas sprinkles, and so we dumped those in and we called them Christmas cookies. They were Christmas themed because they had Christmas sprinkles. And then a few years back, I was watching J. Morrell Stewart on Large Family Table, and she made M&M Christmas cookies, and I was like, well, that's super fun. So this year we're kind of doing a mashup of all of them. We're going to do chocolate chip cookies with sprinkles and M&Ms thrown in there. It's a wild recipe, but it's gonna be lots of fun, and the kids will love them. So I asked the girls to help me finish rolling out, well, scooping up the rest of the chocolate chip cookies and dipping them in sprinkles for me because it's after 5 and I needed to pause real quick and prep a quick dinner. I'm kind of doing a freezer cheat meal. I like to keep these Kevin's chicken, garlic. This is one of the garlic chicken. I have a few different flavors of these in the freezer for just those nights when I would usually be tempted to grab some takeout because I'm obviously doing a lot of other projects in the kitchen. Well, this is it's faster and healthier than takeout, so I'm gonna use that roasted garlic chicken, and I'm boiling up some spaghetti noodles, and we're gonna throw that all together with some veggies that were out of the freezer that I'm roasting in the oven, and so that's gonna be a nice, quick, healthy dinner for us. After dinner, I'm going to continue on making more cookies, baking, things like that. And I think Justin and the kids are all going to watch a Christmas movie. So having some Christmas cookies baked will be a nice little treat for them to go along with that, and just makes for a fun Saturday night. So that is what is next. I know that peanut blossoms are not necessarily a quote-unquote Christmas cookie, but they are a tradition in the Ralston house. We always make these cookies at Christmas time, and I roll them in either red or green sprinkles. Now, I don't normally love to use a bunch of food dyes and different things like that in our food. I did this year buy some dye-free sprinkles that I found at Trader Joe's for a couple of these recipes, and I am using some plant-based food dye instead of just the normal stuff you pick up on the Walmart shelves. So I am making some small adjustments, but you know, it's Christmas. We're gonna have M&Ms that have coloring on them. We're gonna have some splurge items here and there. These are not something that are a part of our everyday diet, but it's Christmas. We're gonna go nuts a little bit. Now, I know that a lot of these recipes I am focusing in on them being Christmas cookies, but these can be made any type of year. You could substitute in regular M&Ms or regular sprinkles to make them not Christmas themed. I've even used some of these recipes for birthday parties. Leah had a frozen birthday once where I rolled everything in blue and white sprinkles. So these are very flexible. You can really make them work for whatever occasion you are using them for, whether it is Christmas or not. Well, happy new day, friends. As you can see by my cleaner kitchen and the daylight in the window, it's a new day. The other night, baking cookies got a little bit away from me. The mess after dinner with the cookies and the oven and the dinner dishes, it got a little out of control. And all of my people were excited to watch Christmas movies and spend time together, and I wanted to join in on that. I mean, that's the point of this Christmas gift to myself, is so that I have more free time to spend with my family during the holiday season rather than in the kitchen baking all the time. So I decided to just take a little pause button on my baking project and come back to it another day. The wonderful Ralston fairies came in and cleaned the kitchen for me, aka Justin and a couple of my teens really helped out putting the kitchen back together. And so now I'm ready to start fresh today. So a little bit of a catch up. On day one, I was able to complete just the basic sugar cookie cutout dough. I had it in one big lump and I put it in the refrigerator. I'm hoping at the end of today to get that back out, roll it out, do all my sugar cookie cutouts, bake them, and then freeze them so that at some point during the month of December, when my kids want to go nuts decorating with icing and sprinkles, we can just take those right out of the freezer and decorate them. As far as the M&M sprinkle cookies, my goal for those was to make the dough, scoop the dough, and then flash freeze the dough raw so that I can take those out throughout the month and bake them on demand when we want some cookies for a dessert after dinner or something like that. So those are done. I did finish all of the peanut butter blossom cookies. Those are just the little Hershey Kiss cookies. Got all of those rolled and baked completely. Flash froze those in the freezer, and so they're done. We can just pull those out, thaw them, eat them, take them to parties as is. So what does that mean for today? Well, we are going to tackle the chocolate mint Meltaway cookies, or just the Andes mint cookies. Going to do those first, and then hoping to get to my snowflake shortbread, and then if there's enough time, finishing out those sugar cookie cutouts. So a lot to do this afternoon, but it's gonna happen. We're gonna get it done. It's gonna be great. I just ran over to grab vanilla extract, and I am working on some of my own. I have some vanilla beans sitting in some bourbon. Had those going for a couple months. They aren't quite done yet. But the one thing I am really excited to show y'all is this. This is my own. This one is chocolate mint extract. So these are chocolate mint leaves that I grew out in my little herb garden on the patio over the summer, and I harvested all of those and I made chocolate mint extract. You cannot buy that in the grocery store. So I'm excited to add this into this recipe. Now, obviously, this is not something most people have on hand for this recipe. You can use peppermint or any other type of mint extract that is easily available, but I'm excited to try this. I'm also planning on using this in hot cocoa or hot chocolate recipes with the kids throughout the winter to make chocolate mint hot chocolate. So it's exciting. I'm super proud of myself on that one. Next ingredient I found at Trader Joe's. These are Trader Joe's peppermint flavored baking chips or chocolate chips, and they're really pretty. They're kind of white chocolate chips with little peppermint flakes through them. Super cute. I need to add in about 1.5 cups of these. I'll stir those in with a wooden spoon. Just makes it a little bit easier than with the mixer. Oh, and look, that's almost 1 bag exactly. It's perfect of how much I need. The kids woke up this morning and they were so excited because we had our first official snow. There was about, I don't know, a dusting, not even a 1/2 inch of snow on the grass this morning. The first we've had that's like stuck at all. It's already melted away in the sun today, but it just made it feel more like December and definitely made me more in the mood to do Christmas cookie baking this afternoon. Now, as you can tell through some of these clips, my younger kids are done with school for the day, so they are off doing quiet time and taking play breaks. My older kids, especially my high schoolers, still have some school that they are finishing up, and so you will see them coming in and out asking me questions and me managing them. That is just part of the territory. Afternoons are spent doing a lot of independent work and then just checking in with mom throughout the rest of the day until they are able to get their to-do lists finished up. That's especially true for my son who has a part-time job. His hours of school, we've had to really be flexible with this year. He does a lot of school in the late evenings after he comes back home from work and things like that. So we have to be a little bit more open-handed with our schedule, which is hard for me as a spreadsheet loving mama, but we're making it work. So last but not least is going to be my shortbread cookies, and these are some of my favorite things to make at Christmas time. I am not normally a person who buys special pans just to use for one recipe, but this is the exception to that rule. I love this snowflake pan. I bought this probably 10 years ago or more, and I use it every year to make shortbread cookies. You get 9 per pan. They're just beautiful. They come out with each of these individual snowflakes. It's just lovely. So I'm going to make some shortbread. Sadly, my recipe, I cannot remember how many batches it makes. So I'm going to just start out with a single batch and see how many I get. I would love to make, I don't know, probably 4 sheets worth of this shortbread because it lasts a long time. I like to eat it all the way through January with coffee, of course. So we'll just see how far we can get with this. Maybe I'll make 1 or 2 batches today and a couple other batches later in the month. Now, shortbread, it's a very simple recipe. It is just 1 part butter, 1 part confectioner's sugar, and 2 parts flour mixed really well together, along with whatever type of flavoring you want to use. For this recipe, I am using a combination of vanilla and almond extracts, but you can go nuts. You could put lavender, peppermint, I mean, all kinds of different flavorings that you can add to shortbread depending on the season that you are making it in. So Leah just came in to show me some of her awesome point dance moves that she's been working on, and as she was showing those to me, she was like, "Hey Mom, do you realize that the battery died on your camera?" And I was like, no. So what y'all missed was me adding 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract to my shortbread. I promise they're in there. Now, as you can see here, I am just very thoroughly greasing my pan. This is not a recipe that you want to stick. And then I'm putting it in the pan, just using my spatula to kind of spread it out. I end up using my fingers as well. And it's really important to poke holes in your shortbread to allow the steam to come up and go through. Okay, so real quick for the end of the video here, I just wanted to share with you that I did in fact get back out those Grandma Mahaney's sugar cookies, and I got those rolled out, cut, and baked, and now they are happily sitting in my freezer, waiting for a day for the kids and I to go nuts decorating them. But that was the last project on my list, and I was so glad, so relieved to have all of this done. When all was said and done during these 2 days of baking, I made over 25 dozen cookies, so definitely enough to get our crew through Christmas, as well as hosting and going to parties and different things like that. Again, as a busy homeschool mom, my freezer is my friend, and it will be such a blessing to just take cookies out of the freezer here and there over the next few weeks through Christmas and New Year's, just to have some little treats and not to have to spend all day in the kitchen. So, hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I will see you later.